Hi everyone, and welcome back to Tales of Edeah, episode 16, Perilous Paths. The Ashen Hearts will be exploring more of Solarian Isle, and we'll find out if they're going to go crazy or not. I'm pretty excited, so I'm just going to dive right in. Unfortunately, Bruno is not here at the moment, but hopefully he will join us soon, and otherwise, I'm pretty sure that Nikolai, you still have control of his character sheet, right?
I will double check for you. I don't believe so. I have Carlos only. So, oh no, I just have Barnack.
Oh, okay. Then someone else does. Well, I'll give you access in a moment if it comes to that. In any case, without further ado... Wow! Karna Sideshow, thank you for the host, the raid. We appreciate you very much. And we're about to start, so this is the perfect time to hop in with us. Now for our introduction. Solarian Isle, March... date unknown, year 51 of the new era. A pleasant warmth creeps through the mist-shrouded forests of Solarian Isle, the gentle rustling of underbrush almost soothing to the ear. The Ashen Hearts arrived some time ago, perhaps hours, perhaps days, and after sending the last survivor of Patrick Sword&Brand's expedition to their waiting ship, they set out to discover more about the island, with one crucial warning in their heads. Do not touch the mist. Along their strange journey, they seemed almost to be in a trance, walking and chatting, watching the sun rise in the west and set in the east, and trying to keep focused on finding the mysterious lady that Patrick had gone in search of, hoping that she will be able to aid them in reaching the tower at the heart of the island. Their journey was interrupted by the appearance of a strange item along the road, which seemed to be a square safe with gold plating on the front. In that plating, they found a mysterious code, perhaps something to be deciphered, which promptly drew their attention. Yet, the Ashen Heart's dallying seems to have drawn the white mist, which had so far been keeping out of their path, and now it is slowly closing in around them. Myra sits to the side, but the other Ashen Hearts are gathered around the safe, having been theorizing and trying to figure out exactly what this code might mean. Their appearances strangely changed by something about the island, some magical influence that has transformed several of them into animal heads, and two others look nothing like they usually do. Now, you see the mist is slowly closing in, the shapes moving, then falling and dissipating and reappearing in different shapes. But it is not yet upon you. So what is it that you guys would like to do?
Well, I think JJ was one of the people that wasn't immediately. Sorry about that, Kevin.
No
Thank
worries.
you. Was one of the people that wasn't immediately investigating the safe and was very much concerned with the mist. So as he sees it approaching, with a look of sort of concern on his mind, he's gonna try and stand just smack dab in the middle of the group and close his eyes and employ all of the willpower at his disposal to still think of their destination, and do that actively. So essentially a meditative state where he's repeating the mantra that we had last week, which was, what was it? Off to the mist we go to find the lady today, or I can't remember what we came up with.
There was a rhyme, yes, I remember. Yeah. Okay. Jean-Jacques, go ahead and make a concentration check in that case.
Okay, concentration. That is an ability check.
It is.
So that will be with disadvantage. Boy, this is coming back to bite me in the ass. That will be a 12.
Okay.
Actually, wait. Didn't I activate my ability to have advantage on ability checks for 5 minutes? But I can't remember when I did it. It was when we arrived at the safe, but I don't know how much time would have passed, do you think?
Roll a D100.
27%.
Okay. It's still active.
Okay. I'll re-roll then because I didn't designate one of them.
Sure.
as the first die. Boy, that bit me in the ass. 8.
Okay. So an 8. Duly noted. So Jean-Jacques stands at the center of the clearing, focusing on himself and their destination.
And he'll just say, as he like starts, he'll just say, whatever you guys think that you can do, just make it quick. We can't stand still for too long.
All right. So Barnack, Tani, Myra.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is. I remember something in the freelancer training. I remember it was something about messages that are secret, but I don't remember exactly what. I was a bit drunk that night or day. I don't remember. So if someone can jog my memory, I might be able to help, but apart from that, I don't like the mist around us at all. No.
I try and remember what part of the... well, I didn't really participate in the training, but I probably read some of the manuals because of bureaucracy. So do you think I could...
I think this particular... whatever training might pertain to this would be something... it's like an elective that Barnack took.
Yeah,
it's
right,
not necessarily in the freelancer handbook for newbies. But yeah... so Barnack is expressing his doubt. I would say that Turnok is probably just actively puzzling. He's got like a notebook out and he's like writing stuff down. Tani and Myra, what are you two up to?
I'm like, I think I remember what you mean, Barnack.
Yeah.
It was yeah, with some words and alphabets and
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm trying to remember too.
Okay.
I'll also try to remember, but since, as I said, oops, okay, there goes my camera. Since I was a bit drunk that day, I'll...
that day?
Yeah, like you're not
As if
the
there
only
was a
one.
need to specify that it was a day.
And Myra?
Myra, I'm just gonna like start pacing around near the center.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like muttering to myself, saying like prayers, holding my holy symbol, just not liking any of this at all.
Okay.
Do I roll with this? Well, actually, do we roll anything to remember this?
If you like, you can make a history check. I won't make you roll at disadvantage. I think your natural historical skill is indication enough of whether you can remember this or not.
Natural 20.
Okay.
With no disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fair. Just for the hell of it, Tani, you want to roll history as well, since you were also trying to remember?
Whoa, natural 22. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Except -1, so that's a 19.
Oh, right. I have no idea what mine is. Well, I think it's 0, though.
Oh my god. Okay.
History. No, mine is 23 then in total.
Okay. So, I will say, the two of you cluster around Turnok, and you start kind of beautiful minding it up for a while. And for a while is not a long time, because it takes you maybe a minute between the three of you to get the grid down, to start figuring out what the rules are for the cipher, and to translate the message underneath. And then I will say probably, because I'm pretty sure that out of all of you, Jean-Jacques is the only one that knows Sylvan.
I am.
Right?
Yeah.
So you had the translation. So you have to correct a little bit, because the translation isn't perfect in terms of the way that the letters correspond. We seem to have lost Myra here for a second, so bear with us, everyone. But you get the translation done, and you know the phrase as players. So you have that phrase. What do you want to do?
It says. Be careful what you wish for.
There's a slight pop as the front of the safe unlocks, and the golden plate just props up a little bit.
I just standing next to Barnek as I was translating at that point, my arms crossed. I just look at him, just like a regular, everyday look, and I just say, "Yep, real good idea to just say it out loud straight away." Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a lock. It needed to be unlocked.
Yep, locks are for unlocking.
Yeah, exactly.
I point to it and say, "It's your prerogative as the leader of the group to investigate." So,
Of course. Yeah, I'll.
well, actually, just a second, and I'll do an investigation check, if I may, for traps. Just just in case.
Okay.
My hand was already there.
Just grab it. Like, wait.
Yeah. All right. So you stop Barnek at the last possible moment and investigate for traps. Go ahead.
Is my thing still active? 5 minutes in?
Yeah.
Said about a minute has passed. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good night. 15.
Okay. As far as you can tell, there's not much room. It's literally a metal plate that has no clear mechanism by which it was locked in the first place, and there's no secret room or compartments. It's quite thin. It's not like there's anything embedded in it either. So, as far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be anything trapped about it.
I give him a nod then.
All right.
All right. Let's see what's inside.
Okay.
And I peek in.
All right. So you gently push open the gold-plated front of the safe, and first you think, "Oh, it's empty," but then you realize that in the center of what would be the bottom plate, even though it's angled, at the center of it lies something, and it's strange because the safe is angled in a way that any items in it should have fallen all the way to the back, but this just lies perfectly in the center, and it is a beautiful golden ring with a small expanded portion, and in it are set 3 diamonds.
Oh. Let's see what it does.
All right.
Do you think it has a voice like Jean-Jacques' ring?
I want another voice inside my head.
Welcome back, Chansey.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Hey, Bruno. You're here too?
Yes, I literally just woke up.
I figured you might.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't hear.
Well, it's good because you've just arrived in time for Barnak to retrieve the item from the safe.
Awesome. Just setting myself up here.
Yeah, no worries. Barnak, I will say, as you... Let me leave with the placeholder here. 1 second. As you take the item, those of you that are not directly looking at Barnak taking it, notice that there is immediately a sort of movement in the mist around you, and there's a kind of whisper that runs through the forest. And I would like everyone to make a perception check.
Oh, I'm good with those.
I don't remember if I'm good at those.
People who were not paying attention to Warnock picking up the item, that's what you mean?
No, everyone can make a perception check.
Oh, everyone, okay.
That actually
Roll
was
20 is loading.
No worries.
18.
nice.
Well, the 4. And that makes it a 7.
Okay.
That's 5, yeah.
19.
19.
22.
22, okay. Well, I will say this, and Bruno, you can see if you roll 18 or higher. But those of you with 18 or higher, you hear and kind of read an intent in the whisper that runs through the forest. And you hear anger. There is a definite sense of foreboding that creeps over you as you hear this angry whisper run around you. not many voices, but rather one that just goes all the way around you through the mist. Angry at something you've done. The
Are there
moment
any
that
words?
none that you can distinguish.
Okay. Well, whatever that is, we need to figure that out later. Let's get moving. The mist is too close.
Yeah, I'll just pocket this.
What is the item?
A ring, Tarnok, with 3 little diamonds.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know what mist you're talking about. We're just here to find the lady, and I bolt straight.
As you're about to do that, you raise your eyes to the path. You still actually have to choose a path, because you have two ways,
We're left and right.
2 directions you could go. But as you do so, you watch from one of the paths that you could take, emerging at the size larger than a horse, is a wolf shape that steps forward and coalesces into something more solid than what you've seen of the mist so far. But it retains the sort of greyish colouring that's all around you. And it remains connected to the mist, even as it steps forward into the clearing that remains around you. You look at the other path, and you see emerging there, equally large, the shape of a bear, stepping forward. You look to the path that you took to get here, and you see a majestic white stag, also made of mist, step forward. I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Oh boy.
And let me drag you guys to the map so you can roll initiative on Roll20. Here we go.
We have advantage on these. How does this work, Kevin? Because I still have my thing where it gives me advantage. So my disadvantage would cancel it out for the initiative, but I also got advantage on initiative checks.
Doesn't stack, right? You just get...
It doesn't...
No,
it's just
it's just like you have one source of advantage, one source of disadvantage. Even if you have 5 sources of advantage and 10 of disadvantage, it's just 1-1.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. Let's roll some initiative here.
I've been rolling initiative like poorly these days. 5.
Okay, hold on. Tell me when I ask you. Just a second. So I can roll for these guys.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I don't like this.
Okay. Anyone above 20 on initiative? Between 20 and 15?
15.
Okay, Jean-Jacques, 15. This is not boding well. Between 15 and 10?
10.
I actually rolled in real life, not realizing.
That's fine, actually. I'm writing it down because I have the creatures set up differently. I just realized.
11.
Okay. So Myra 11, Barnack 10.
11.
Okay. So Tani will go before Myra.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can choose, honestly, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I think it's better if Tani goes before me.
And Turnock 7, you said?
5.
5. Okay. All right. Well, Jean-Jacques, you are the first able to respond. Just before we start the round, you guys can reposition yourselves according to where you had envisioned yourself on the map, because obviously I just positioned you roughly in the vicinity of the item.
One
Well,
question, where
I
do
think
you come
it's-
from?
I really think it's alright.
You came from
Like-
the south.
Me and Barnack were the ones who cracked the code. Or did you guys work on that as well?
And Tani.
Tani
Yeah,
as well.
Tani.
Tani and Barnack
Yeah,
both
so-
rolled a 20, natural 20.
Oh, really? So I believe that Tani being closer to the, to the safe as well, perhaps.
Sure.
No, hold on. Stay there.
And, I mean,
All right. So, Jean-Jacques, what would you like to do?
So JJ will just put his hands up in the air,
Like you just
and
don't-
to the rest will just say, let me see if I can take care of this. And then in Sylvan, using my action, I will try and
here it comes.
say to the beasts, and I'll say, ancient beasts of the forest, of the mists, we mean no harm. We simply seek safe passage through this. If we have made offense, let us make amends instead. Try and see if I can dissuade them from attacking us.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check.
That would be 24.
Okay. Duly noted. Would you like to move anywhere?
I'll just step one step here, or rather here, no, there, because it looks like an arrowhead that way.
Okay. So that is Jean-Jacques. Next up would be Myra. So in this case, let's do Tani first. And hopefully Myra will join us again soon.
I think the only thing I'll do at the moment is I have this wholeness of body and my HP is a bit low. So I'll join my two fists like this in a horizontal position and I don't know, try to heal myself first.
Okay.
And I think that's it, right? If I do that?
That is, I don't know, is it an action? Bonus
That's an action, yeah.
Yeah, so you can still move if you want to go in a particular direction, and make sure to add, of course, the HP that you regain to your hit points.
Stay there. I'll crouch a little bit in preparation.
Alright. In that case, so we'll let Myra go. Well, yeah.
I am back.
Oh, you're
I
back.
just turned on. So it's really hot here, so our main box tends to go out for safety reasons. So I just connected to my phone's hotspot, so I know
Okay.
it won't go out.
Do you want to be just on voice? Because then I'll just put a placeholder for the video.
For
Might be-
now, I
yeah.
will load up. It's literally just because it's really hot here.
Yeah,
and
it's
our
not a
box
problem,
has
but then
safety
you don't have to
features.
deal with the video part of the setup for now.
My internet's running better than it usually does on my hotspot, so
Okay.
it's just gonna take me a minute.
No worries.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is your turn.
What has everyone done so far?
Jean-Jacques implored the spirits of the forest to forgive them, or to forgive you, all of you rather, and not attack you, and that you would make amends. And Tani has restored some hit points and taken a defensive posture. And that's where we're at.
I'm just gonna being scared of it. I'm just going to cast Order of Purity around us.
Okay. What does that do exactly?
I will put it in chat. Everyone knows what it does.
Aura of Purity. Purifying energy radiates from you within a 30-foot radius until the spell ends. The aura moves with you. Each non-hostile creature in the area can't become diseased, has resistance to poison damage, and has advantage on saving throws that cause any of the following conditions. Okay, interesting. Huh. Cool. So you extend that aura, and because of the radius that it has, you watch as it pushes past the animals that have been summoned, these three large, rather majestic, misty creatures. And though it doesn't affect them, where it moves past them, it does seem to push back the mist slightly. Like it creates a very definitive boundary rather than where the mist has just been kind of swirling and making it hard to see how far it really extends, and it kind of pushes it to that point, and only the creatures that have come out of the mist remain within the circle with this sort of cord attached to them. Welcome back. All right. Would you like to move as well, Myra?
I know I moved my token, but I think something happened and I got overlap with Barnack.
Yeah, no
So I'll
worries.
just move myself right there.
All right. So Myra invokes a spell and the blessing of her deity, and then we move on to Barnack. What would you like to do?
Seeing that Jean-Jacques is trying to be nice to these creatures, I will knock an arrow, so I'll just prepare it, and I'll
Okay.
prepare an action to shoot at any of the 3 creatures that attack us first. So not just moves, but actually attack us first.
Okay. Very good. So that will be Barnack's turn. The one that moves first is the bear. And the bear comes prowling forward slowly, deliberately, and you can't really place where the feeling comes from, but there is a sense of intelligence that you get from looking at these things moving forward. They move with one mind, one idea. And the bear kind of prowls, moving closer to Tani, to Myra, and then it growls. But the growl doesn't come just from its throat, but from the woods around you, from the mist around you. And then it attacks Tani twice. So it moves here because it wants to be in melee range with the two of them, which means that Barnack, you can make your bow attack, but at disadvantage because it moved into melee range.
Yep. Alrighty. Disadvantage. That is, it's probably going to hit though. I think I have +9. Yeah, +9. So that's 19.
Yes, that hits.
Draw a circle so that we see where the edge of the mist is, by any chance.
It's 30 foot out from Myra in any direction, so...
Okay. I can do it too then.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Pretty much like that.
That is...
The ring had
8.
3 diamonds in it.
3
that
small
it?
diamonds
Yes.
set in a gold plate. Yes.
18.
18 points of damage, okay. As a
when
function... Sorry, go
When I
ahead.
prepare an attack, I don't get multi-attack, right?
No,
It's just
you
a single...
prepare the one
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah,
Um,
good to know.
But as a function of its being able to attack, it has some corporeal form to it. So as you strike, the arrow sinks in deeper than you would have expected, but at the same time, it doesn't have the effect that it would have on normal flesh. It doesn't embed itself, it just kind of sinks into the ghostly form and then slowly begins to drift downwards to the ground. It gives absolutely no reaction of pain whatsoever, but you can tell that where it struck, there is the physicality of a wound present. It's just that the arrow doesn't remain inside of it. How much damage it has actually caused, you're not sure of. It seems that these creatures are very difficult to judge, and they're not made of anything that you can really easily judge or understand.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to make its 2 attacks against Tani. That will be a natural 20 on the first attack.
Good thing you thought of Edeah.
We didn't hit Myra.
Okay, so that will be... oh, but that's interesting. Okay. That will be that. And then the second one is a 16 to hit, which I don't think hits you, Tani,
It
correct?
does.
It does.
It
Okay.
does.
All right. You watch, all of you, as the bear swipes once with a claw and then goes for a bite. And both movements go through Tani, connecting, but leaving no physical marks. Instead, where they moved through Tani, you watch as some of the mist remains behind and seems to, almost like a pin in a pincushion, it's kind of stuck and it's just swirling around the places where she's been struck. So she currently has 2 places where mist is kind of coalescing around her. I will say all of you can make an insight check as well. What'd you get?
That's 4. No, not 4, 11.
Okay.
18.
18.
3.2? Or just them?
Anyone can make an insight check.
4 in total.
Okay. Looks like I'll be sending a whisper instead. And Tani, an 8. Okay, Myra, I will send you a whisper.
How much damage does it do?
None.
None.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up is I'll turn off your 5, right? Yeah. So next up is the wolf comes rushing forward, and this will take 2 claw attacks against Turnock, and then makes a bite attack as well. So it comes bounding forward, but there's none of the normal impact that you would expect to hear from this creature. It's pure mist, and it will make its first attack at an 18 to hit against Turnock. That hits. Okay. The second attack is a 12, which I don't think hits. And the third attack is a 17 to hit.
Right on the mark.
All right. So same thing happens. 2 claw. Well, one claw attack. The second one you manage to actually dodge out of the way, but then the bite comes down on probably on the shoulder that's closest to it, and it just goes through. And it's a very weird sensation for both Tani and Turnock. It's sort of like being partially immersed in water for a moment, and then it just gets pulled away. But you also have 2 places on your body, Turnock, now where this mist is just kind of coming out of you, or rather attached to you, rather than coming out of you. And the stag comes bounding forward and is going to make 1 attack with its hooves against Jean-Jacques, and 1 with its antlers towards Myra. That is 26 to hit against Jean-Jacques.
Yeah.
And a 19 to hit against Myra. If you're here. Looks like the
Nope. I think she...
But 19 hits, either way.
Does it? Have you got access to a character sheet? She does have a shield, I think. Okay, yeah, it does hit. Alright, so Myra and Jean-Jacques both are also afflicted by the mist, it seems. Turnock, your turn.
Yeah. I didn't want to attack this. I wanted to do something with the ring, but I don't think it's going to work either way, so... Yeah. No fighting spirit, no great weapon master, just 2 swings.
Okay. Against
22.
the wolf, correct?
15, 22.
The 22 definitely hits. The 15 does not. So with the first strike, you try to make a very precise attack, but it actually physically sidesteps the weapon. But then you're faster with the follow up, and it just goes straight through the body, which would have been a deadly cut, but in this case, just seems to kind of connect with something ethereal and wipe away some of the smoke that makes up its body.
14.
14 points. All right. Very good. Anything you want to say, or any way you want to move?
No, sir.
All right. I will say, all of you have the distinct impression you could possibly move through these creatures' squares. It might be unpleasant, but they're made of mist, so there's not enough physicality to block you from going through them. Then we come back to Jean-Jacques at the top of the turn. What would you like to do?
So, seeing things develop, and that my plan has failed, I will, as I prepare to cast a spell, invoke my sorceress powers and move 10 feet flying without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will cast at 4th level Storm Sphere.
All right.
Right where I marked there, so that it envelops the bear and the stag.
Okay.
Actually, let me just double check this, because this will actually inform whether I want to move that way or not.
Okay. I have just briefly drawn the outline of the underlying ledge that you would be facing underneath the tree.
Okay, this would be bonus action. So no, I won't move. I will just invoke this
Okay.
spell,
All right.
and then without using my bonus action, I'll move. I'll risk an attack opportunity. Fuck it.
Okay. Is there a reason not to use the
bonus action?
Ah, right. So that will be from the stag, another 26. I rolled 18 both times. So,
Cool.
so you have another. In this case, actually, it's the antlers that just come after you, and you feel a nudge and a push, but it again does not hurt you, but leaves you enveloped in more mist. Also, thank you, Simon. Inspiration to Tani for punching the mist. Anyway.
So yeah, I'm hoping that this will them being a mist and stuff will do. The stormy winds will fuck them up a bit. And then I will use my bonus action to take my attack on the bear.
Okay.
It's a 25 to hit.
What are you attacking with?
The lightning strike from the storm sphere.
Yeah, the 25 hits.
And that's gonna be 15 points of damage.
Okay. So yeah, the storm sphere comes into existence. Do they already make the saving throw, or at the start of their turns?
I think it's at the start of their turns, as always is with these spells, but let me just check. Which is in the sphere when it appears, or that ends its turn there. So right now.
Okay. Right now, yeah. So they'll make
it's I believe strength saving throw.
Okay. So for the stag is a 17, which
doesn't save.
Okay. What is your spell saving DC?
18.
Ah, right. And the bear is a 12, so also fails.
9 points of bludgeoning damage from the winds.
All right. And from the attack, how much does that deal? As you summon
15.
A lightning bolt. All right. Right. So the sphere comes into existence, crackling and beginning to pull up dirt and ripping the smaller fronds and flowers out of the ground around it, and begins buffeting the two misty creatures, not quite as effectively as you'd hoped. And their forms briefly seem to diminish just from the sheer amount of wind, but then solidify again, that tether to the mist around, keeping them strong and secure in place for the time being. You do notice that beyond the storm sphere, it does seem to be creating a larger area in which the mist is less prevalent, so you get the impression that if it's not coalesced into shapes, that you might be able to use wind in this fashion to create a path. Mm-hmm. But that these in particular are a sort of focus that's just much harder to blow away with forces like this. All right. So you've been hit twice as well, and that's the end of your turn, which brings us to Tani and Myra.
Kevin, check your.
Yes.
Oh, they also take. The stag also takes. What is it? 4 points of lightning damage from my Heart of the Storm.
Ah, right. All right.
Because it's within 10 feet.
Very nice. All right. So.
Well, actually, because they were all within 10 feet, so they all take 4 when I cast the spell.
Okay. Does it just apply to everything in range?
Yeah.
Okay.
Including us? Or no?
Sorry?
Including us?
No, I choose the creatures, so.
Okay.
I was just wondering if this.
I mean, if you want to, I can.
Wild force of nature.
All right, so Jean-Jacques, and that's the end of your turn. Tani and Myra, what would you like to do?
I could go first.
I mean, I know what I want to do if you're still debating.
Okay, you can go first.
Will Barnack switch places with me, and can that be done?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll switch places with them. I'll just be like, Barnack, let me get there real quick.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll allow that.
Gonna
Just make
take
sure to
him
mark off
through.
5 feet of movement from your movement,
Yep.
Barnack.
I'm gonna try something. It might not work. I'll kinda... Are Turnock and Connie still looking different?
Yes.
So I'll kind of look between them and go, okay, Jada, Kieran, I got this. Like, not like paying attention. And then I will try casting Word of Radiance on the mist that's connecting Connie and Turnock.
Okay. Well, I should mention, it's not connecting them to each other, just FYI.
No, I know. But
Okay,
it's like connecting the mist. Like, I want to hit those strands. It's each creature of my choice I can see within range, which is 5 feet.
Okay.
But I want to try to aim specifically for the strands that are connecting
Okay.
them.
And
to
it's
the
an
mist.
attack roll that you do?
It's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
For us to roll.
Yes.
For
So
the creature.
we need to. Oh,
Yeah.
I will say, both Tani and Turnock make a Constitution saving throw. And I will make one as well.
okay.
Don't worry, it's only D6s.
Okay, 22. Natural 20.
Okay.
17.
That beats it as well.
All right. So you guys are not affected. The saving throw that I rolled comes down to a 19 total.
Not affected.
Not
Damn.
affected. Okay.
I'll be like, shit, that didn't work.
Okay.
Which way are we going? Like,
Yeah.
stressing out.
Alright.
'Cause I'm still very low on hit points.
Yeah. So Myra tries to focus her energy on 2 people that look familiar around her, but unfortunately the amount of focus and precision that you need diminishes the spell enough that everything that would be affected by it, be that Turnock and Tani or the mist, just doesn't seem to be quite taken with your efforts here, unfortunately. And you get the impression that being that precise would be very difficult with any particular spell. All right. That's your action, and I guess a bit of your movement. Anything else you want to do on your turn, Myra?
Let me double check how many spell slots I have. I would just a healing word myself. Because
Okay.
I'm still pretty low on hit points.
All right.
Ooh, so I constantly forget my 9 hit points.
All right. Very good. So Myra speaks a quiet prayer to herself and regains some hit points. And then Tani, what would you like to do?
I'll take a mental note that she called me something different and turned out too, but I'll ask later. And I'll say...
But you can see, right? You can see that you're different and I'm different. Or am I going nuts here?
No,
I have
you
noticed by now, yeah, my hands and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could it be... I whispered to Myra, because she's beside me, could it be because of the ring? Are they angry at the ring? And then I'll whirl around and face the bear and see if a punch connects.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
Missed.
Come on, missed. That's a 13.
A 13. It seems to connect, but there's just no physicality that you can actually make contact with. It's like the mist sort of parts around your fist and withdraws enough that you don't make physical contact this time, but you get the impression that you might be able to if you strike more effectively.
I'll try again.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 25.
That will hit.
Still don't need my inspiration.
That will hit. All right. So you connect and you just have a very physical interaction with this mist all of a sudden, where you manage to catch it probably just literally on the side of this enormous head, and you push it back, but it's like your fist sinks about 3 or 4 centimeters into the face before it pushes against anything, and then the bear just kind of recovers immediately, and there's no growl of pain, there's no normal reaction to being hit. It just focuses back on you and continues to menace and growl in the way that it was doing previously.
You do one more as a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. And I'll use inspiration to roll
Okay.
again.
Go for
Thank
it.
you, Simon. 23.
23
There we
with
go.
inspiration. Yes, thank you, Ruin Keep, for helping us punch mist, which is something you guys are very familiar with. So yeah, go ahead and roll the damage, and you connect again, and it's the same thing. You find a piece where your fist sinks in, and then after a moment, when you think already it's not going to hit, suddenly there's a very quiet impact, and you push it back, but it's not the normal punches that you're used to dealing out. It's not as satisfying and not as effective as it should be. Would you like to move or say move anywhere or say anything?
Stay here.
All right. After the two of you, Barnack, it is your turn. You are now standing between the two creatures, Myra at your back and a storm sphere in front of you.
Myra pushing me into these two creatures. Oh, just turn around and say, "Yeah, thank you for that." And I'll shoot at the bear from there. I don't
Okay.
have anything else. Let me check though. Just a moment. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I'll just shoot at the bear from there with disadvantage.
Okay. Go for it.
No sharpshooter.
Gotcha.
That is in total 7 plus 9, 16.
16 just hits.
Okay. That is 10 damage.
Okay. So from very much up close, and probably right as Tani pushes into it, it exposes part of the neck, and you think, okay, I can shoot right there, and it just about gets in there, and the whole arrow actually sinks in, because of course you're shooting from very up close. But then after a few, probably like not this turn per se, but the arrow actually comes back out of the body on the bottom, but it has made an impact, and it has seemingly inconvenienced the creature somewhat.
I'll shoot again.
Alright.
This one is better. This one is 19.
Also hits.
And this is 7 plus 4, 11 damage.
Okay. Same thing again. Arrow
Yeah.
disappears into the body, but unfortunately, no immediate response at all from the creature, and it has the appearance has deteriorated somewhat. Like it no longer has the full physicality that it seems to have had up till now. It is slowly diminishing, so you are chipping away at it, all of you, but the bear especially seems to be quite tough. For the others, you don't really have a frame of reference to judge yet, but the bear itself has already taken some punishment and is still very much there. Would you like to move, Barnack? Or bonus action, anything?
I don't have any bonus actions at the moment, so no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just stay there.
Alright. Then, following Barnack, we come to the bear. The bear is going to attack Tani first. This time it will attack with a 21 to hit. Yes. Okay. This time as it impacts, I'm going to need you to make a either athletics or acrobatics check, whichever you're better at, as it hits you and it tries to push you to the ground with force.
25.
25. Okay. Well, let's see what it rolls. Yeah, it does not roll high enough. So you feel the push, and you manage to, with acrobatics, just about like hold on and keep your footing underneath you, even as the overwhelming force tries to put you on the ground. And You have been hit again. Tani, please roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy.
Those are always nice.
No, that's bad.
To the game, I mean, not to the player. Fuck the play.
75.
75. Okay, I'm going to send you something on Discord.
No, this is bad.
No bueno.
Okay. You can ignore the last line. That's a different bullet point. All right. Seeing as it has connected with Tani, it is then going to take a bite out of Barnak, or a 10-2, with a 17 to hit. Does 17 hit you, Barnak?
I think it does, but yeah, it does.
Okay. This time, as it connects, not only does the white mist attach to Barnak, which is, I think, the first time that you've been hit, right?
Yep.
Not only does it connect, but it will also deal damage. So in this case, that will be... that is 12 points of piercing damage, as it... the mouth almost becomes completely solid, and you feel physical teeth dig into your flesh, and it tries to kind of thrash you around before letting go, and pulling back, and the mouth retreats into being mostly mist. But that definitely hurt.
Okay. I spit blood on the side.
Alright. 1 second, need to make a note here. And then the wolf is going to go, and it's going to attack
Was this
Turnok.
the bear?
Sorry?
The bear just played?
Yes. Oh, it started its
So-
turn in the storm sphere, right?
It ended it there. Which
Ended
is more
it there.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. So that's another
Strength saving
constitution.
throw.
Strength, right. That's a 13. That fails.
That fails. So you get 7 points of damage.
All right. Very good. And then the wolf is going to take one attack against Turnok first for a 23. I'm rolling so well, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I am. So 23. Turnok, please roll a D100 for me. As it claws at you, dealing 10 points of slashing damage. This time, as it goes through, you don't just feel the weird sensation of water being spilled on you and then withdrawn, but rather it physically connects and slashes at you.
80.
80. Okay. Let me have a look here. Alright. I'm going to send you a message on Discord as well.
Okay.
Stop sending messages.
There you go. And with its follow-up attacks, twice it's going to attack Myra.
One, please.
First one is a 15 to hit.
I don't believe that hits, but I gotta double check. I have to reload.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I think I saw 16, but I'm not sure if that incorporates a shield or not.
I believe that's with my shield.
Alright, so the first claw attack, like, it takes a claw attack at Turnok and scrapes him and leaves him with more mist attached to him. And then it immediately goes for another claw attack against Myra, and then it tries to bite her as well, failing on the first attempt. And the second one, apparently, because it rolled a 14 for the bite attack. So twice you hide behind your shield, and there's just kind of a physical impact, and this time you realize they're definitely trying to hurt you. That is the wolf's turn, and then the stag is going to move up and is going to take both of its attacks against Barnak. That is a 16 to hit Barnak.
My AC is 16.
So I think that hits, right? Equal is a hit.
I think so, yeah.
Alright, so the first one hits, and the second was a natural 19, so that will definitely hit. So you are... Oh, that's it. Okay, that's 9 points of bludgeoning damage from the first one as it rears up and just hooves you in the face. And then the second attack will be 12 points of bludgeoning damage as its antlers also ram into you and try to push you back, actually towards the bear. Barnack, also please roll a d100 for me.
So, 100. That is in total 0, 0, and 6. So that's 6, I guess.
Yeah, 0, 0, and 6 is a 6. Yes.
Yeah, 0, 0, 0 is only 100. Yeah. So
Okay.
6.
Interesting. Could you also roll a d4 for me then?
Oh, fuck me.
What?
It's always bad when you roll one more time.
Yeah. That's a 3.
All right. I'm going to send you a message on Discord. All right. Then, that is the stag's turn. It does not end its turn in the storm sphere. This whatever consciousness it is connected to, realizing at least somewhat about the bear's predicament, that it does not want to repeat that, and we come to Turnok.
So I grab my sword. I hold it like this, just pointing the sword forward. I look at the wolf and I say, "Get out of my face, you misty ass fucking motherfucker! I need to get to the lady." And I run through the wolf.
Okay.
With the intentions of getting behind it, and I'm going to hit it twice with everything if I actually get there.
Yes, you can. So you run through the wolf, and before it can even move its physical form to face you, you strike twice from behind.
Yeah. So fighting spirit on, and all of the crazy bullshit is also on. Yeah. So 2 hits.
And it's a 17 to hit on the first one.
17. Yeah.
That hits.
Yeah, let me roll the second one. Yeah, the second one's a 16.
Also hits.
Okay. So.
Kevin sent you a
Okay.
So it is a lot of damage. 25 plus 26. Plus 23. So it's a 48.
48 points of damage. Wait, are you adding the crit thing as well? Because you didn't crit, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Just great weapon master.
Right, because it's 20 plus 10 plus 10. Yeah, it's 40. Yeah, it's 48. Very nice. So as you strike twice...
And just out of curiosity, me running through it, pointing my sword forward, does not deal any damage because of that. I didn't have the intention of it.
It does not seem to have the impact. You're not sure why, but you are obviously free to theorize regarding why that did or did not have an impact. However, the strikes that you do make as you come to the other side, despite the sudden outburst of emotion and kind of chaos in that action, you turn around, you still find your center, and though the breeze that normally rolls in when you invoke your fighting spirit seems distant, it's still there. You still hear that clean bit of air that's not the mist on this island, that's not magical in any way, that is just your center, rolls somewhere, and then you strike twice. And as you cut through the mist, it's almost like you're not cutting at a creature, but rather at an idea. You're cutting it apart, and as you finish, the shape of the wolf is much, much more diminished than even the bear's is. It's barely holding itself together, and the wolf takes on a sort of rotten form, as if it's an undead version of itself, with part of the face rotted away and the skin drooping off of it, and it's a gruesome vision to see. But it continues to stand for the moment, but you get the impression it does not have much time left if you continue to barrage it in this way.
If I may, before I end my turn, in between teeth, I just say, I need to get to the lady. Out! And that's my turn.
All right. Very
I don't know
good.
if I can because it was already movement action and bonus action.
No, definitely. You know what? I think that there's a very natural aspect to speaking while you're attacking in a strenuous manner. So, no worries there. Jean-Jacques, we come back to you.
Right.
Just
Seeing
grab
the damage that Turnok was able to deal to the wolf, I'll send a lightning bolt its way.
Okay.
Oh man, that's a natural one.
So unfortunately,
Look.
you're trying to attack it right as its form is diminishing. So you
Yeah.
send the lightning bolt to a place where part of its being was previously, but now the emaciated shape is no longer as bulky, and it just misses and hits the ground at Turnok's feet.
Don't you firebolt or lightning bolt?
Lightning bolt from the storm.
From the storm.
From storm. I thought. Okay, yeah. I was like, wait, fine.
I'll actually, sorry, Kevin. I'll use my point of inspiration to reroll. Sorry
Okay.
about that. Oh my, 14.
14 against the wolf, unfortunately, does not hit.
Yeah, no figures. But then I will prepare to cast a spell,
Okay.
and I will move 10 feet without provoking an attack of opportunity. I do get.
Wouldn't
within
that be your
10
bonus action, like you said?
Yes, it would. I will not do that because I'm an idiot.
Sorry.
Nope. Very fair point. That would have been a disadvantage then. Although yeah.
No,
same thing
because
you're doing.
it's not coming from you, right? Like you just need
Yeah.
vision, so that's fine. But it does take up your bonus action.
Right. Then I will instead. Fuck. Sorry, this messes with my plans a bit.
No worries.
If I move down, let me just see how that will turn out. Too risky. I will move away.
Okay, and we'll take its attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
That is a 17 to hit. No, sorry, a 16.
Just hits.
Okay.
My third point, in case it matters.
Yeah, please roll a d100. You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage as it essentially just kicks you in the back and almost sends you stumbling.
I rolled nice, so 69.
Ah, interesting.
You said how many points of damage?
11.
11. I roll my concentration check, which I succeed on with a 16.
All right, very good. I'm sending you a Discord message.
Okay, I'll wait for that before I do my action in case it
It
matters.
wouldn't. I don't.
Okay.
It will not.
All right, then I'll send a level 1 chromatic orb at the wolf,
Okay.
and I will use thunder damage.
All right.
And miss 12.
All right. So the chromatic orb just kind of shoots past, and the wolf actually has a more normal reaction now that it seems to have been weakened so much, and it yelps slightly and jumps to the side, and your chromatic orb thunders forward and actually hits the tree on the other side and splinters part of the tree, but unfortunately has no impact on the wolf itself. Is that the end of your turn, or would you like to move further?
I'll move there.
Yeah. All right. So you kind of get behind that tree, making sure not to fall down the ledge nearby, and then end your turn there. Tani and Myra, what would you like to do?
I don't know what I want to do.
Well, Tani can go first.
Yeah.
Yep, I can go. I'm like an uppercut trying to punch out its shoulder or chin or something
On the bear?
first. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
That 15.
A 15 just doesn't hit. So you try to grab it and like hit it, but just as you do, you feel that slight resistance that you're looking for to connect with just withdraw before your punch, and it does not make any physical contact with the creature.
I'll spend a key point as well later for flurry of blows.
All right, that gives you 3 more attacks.
26.
26
next
definitely
hit.
hits.
That's 6 damage.
All right.
Wait. Remove 1 key point. I have 3 remaining from the statue fight. Yes, flurry of blows, and also, based on my open hand technique, I'll. Well, no, wait. First, I'll see if it actually hits.
Yeah.
20.
20 definitely hits.
Okay. Haha. I'll do that. Well, the bear tried to wrestle me down earlier, so I'll try to do the same kind of. I don't know, kind of try. A strength saving throw. Else dexterity saving throw. Else it'll be knocked prone.
All right.
And in the meantime, I'll do my hits.
That's a natural 20 on the dex save.
Okay. So try to do the same thing, but resist it the same way.
But you do deal the damage.
And then the last hit is 16.
16 just hits. So go ahead and roll damage. And I think you can use your open hand technique again, right? Whenever you hit a creature with one of your attacks granted by a flurry of blows. So you can do it again if you wish.
Yeah. So make another dexterity saving throw.
That's a natural 18, so that will come down to 20 total.
So I'll try again.
Yeah, so you kind of... Yeah?
I was just going... You can finish describing it.
I was just going to say, so Tani, you kind of get into a physical space and you feel around and you actually reach a portion of this creature that feels solid and you just grab it and you start trying to pull and punch at it and you hit twice. But it's a very large bear, and even if it were completely physical, you get the impression it would be very difficult to make this creature go prone by punching it in the face. But it was a valiant effort. It was a very valiant effort. Bruno, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just going to mention that I need to go for, 5 minutes. Just because I don't know if you understand the properties of waking up, smoking a cigarette, and having a cup of coffee. But those are in effect.
I do. So I agree with
so
I'm very innocent. That's fine. We have Myra's turn, Barnick's turn, and then the creatures. So go ahead and.
I'll be back by then.
All right, Tani. Anything else you want to do with your movement, or you want to say anything?
Stay there.
All right.
I won't say anything.
All right, Myra.
The wolf is the one that looks the most
Yes.
real now, right?
It looks rather no. It looks the most faded, but it also looks the most emaciated and damaged.
I will use Sacred Flame on him, so he's gonna make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. That's a natural 1 on the save, so that fails.
Ah, sweet. Ooh.
Find me a
And I
good
got
bad
max
roll.
damage, so 13 points of radiant.
All right. So as a column of radiant fire comes down, it just goes straight through the wolf, and you see, even though it's a misty image at this point of a half undead dire wolf, essentially, where the pillar of flame connects, it still leaves a very blackened piece of fake fur essentially in its place. It definitely has a very powerful impact, and it whimpers slightly, though the whimpers, once again, like with the bear, don't come from the creature itself, but from the woods and the forest around you, as if the world around you is experiencing that pain rather than just this one instance of a creature. Myra, that is a cantrip for your action. What else would you like to do? If you're still here.
You dropped out.
Well,
Looks like. I mean, drop. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Well, Myra can follow up. I think it's just a bonus action movement, so probably not necessarily anything. And we'll move on to Barnack.
Yep. Yeah, I'm bleeding from every everywhere. But seeing that the wolf is... Fuck, no. Okay, so now I will, as a bonus action, I will... Yeah, I'll sacrifice myself as a bonus action. Okay, so as a bonus action, I will designate, let's say, which one we didn't hit at all? The stag?
The stag has been affected
Yeah.
the least.
Yeah, I'll designate the stag as my prey.
Okay.
And as an action, I will try to peer and see what it is and any vulnerabilities and anything that it has from my... What's it called? Just a moment. From my hunter's sense.
Yes. Could you post it in the chat just so I can make sure to give you all the
Yes.
information that you deserve?
Yes.
Choose one creature you can see, learn whether there's any damage, immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are. Okay.
I'm back.
You learn...
What's going on?
I am giving Barnax some additional background information about the creatures that you guys are facing.
Oh my god.
Alright. I think that should cover it. Very well.
Well, except for the what? Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so before I end my turn, I will just yell to everyone else. I'll say, just reread it. Yeah, so I'll say, be careful. These three creatures. They're the same creature. All of them are. The mist is the creature. They're undead and they're vulnerable to psychic damage. And I'll basically put my hands over my head because I know what's going to happen. So I'm just trying to block my head.
Okay. Interesting choice.
And I'll say, and they're immune or resistant to every other damage.
Okay. Then, after Barnax's turn, the bear is going to take a big swipe, and Tani, you think it's coming for you, but it actually, as it's rearing up and it tries to take the swipe, it goes over your head and attacks Myra. With a natural 20.
Oh, Jesus, Kevin.
Of course it does, right?
Seems about right. Seems about right.
Yep. Myra, that is how many times that you've been hit now? That's the third time, correct?
I don't know. I wasn't
No,
hit.
second?
Is it missed?
It's the second time. You were hit once.
Yeah,
I
once,
believe.
right? In the beginning, I think.
Okay.
From the
I didn't
stag.
remember.
The stag hit you once, I think, without dealing
Yeah.
damage.
Oh, okay.
With the hoofs.
I just didn't hear it then.
Ah, yeah.
One with the hoofs and it attacked Barnack
Yeah.
with the...
So the bear... Oh, God. This is the
Did my
worst one to get
internet-
hit by.
To be shit.
Well, it wouldn't be a session if Myra doesn't go down. So
Thankfully, I didn't roll that high. 17 points of damage in total for a crit. So, 17.
Could have been way worse.
And then it's going to also, it's kind of standing up, and it's going to just come crashing down and try to take a bite at Myra as well.
Why me? What did I ever do to it?
That is a 12 to hit, however. So you manage to block an additional blow as it just kind of physically impacts the shield and fails to do anything to you in particular. That is its turn. Then the wolf is going to, still facing the group, no more Turnock in front of it, is going to take it's going to take an attack against Myra first. For a 17 to hit, which I think you said 16, so it hits, right?
Yep.
It didn't turn towards me. I gave it like 48 points of damage, and it's still not focusing on me.
It is what it is. So
Trying
Myra,
to get us all connected.
well, it's a 1 on the damage die, so you take 6 points of damage, slashing damage, as it impacts, and you have now been hit 3 times, so please roll a d100.
I'm aiming for that 100 to that one. 54.
54, okay. I'm going to be sending you a message on Discord as well.
No.
Could you roll
No message.
Could you roll a d4 for me, please?
I could, but I don't want to.
And also,
4.
concentration check, Myra, for the
Oh,
aura
yeah.
purity.
Yeah.
So the aura, so the first one was 17, so it's already, wait, plus my constitution.
Yeah, it's a 10 only that you have
yeah.
to get, so that's fine. And on the d4?
4.
4,
I
okay.
drop aura.
Yeah.
The
Alright.
aura is dropped from the first hit.
Oh,
That rolled
okay.
6. I need an 8 to at least keep it.
You always need a 10 or higher.
Yeah, well, I have a +2 constitution, so.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Alright, so as Myra is hit and the claw goes through her body, the wolf kind of yelps again as if it is experiencing its own pain once more, and it just begins to slink away. And you think maybe to try taking attacks of opportunity, but the others also begin to fade away, and before long you are left in a clearing without the aura that Myra is providing, but no more mist directly around you, and the creatures having dissipated.
These fuckers, they just wanted to get us crazy. Wow. And then they were done. Not even
Yeah.
a fair fight.
Alright. So,
Myra, did we buy any potions?
We came prepared.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We
Anyone
just used
Spare one?
one normal one on Myra.
Yeah.
I start to think how much time ago that was, you know, how much time before when I was at the before, and
it was like weeks ago.
yeah, and did we give any to that other fellow? No, we didn't. So yeah,
Right, I
we
have
have still a lot of health potions.
I still have,
I have 1 greater on me that was
I
given
have
to
one
me.
normal. I'll use one normal one immediately.
If you guys could all make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Do I heal up before that or no?
Yes.
I can,
It was-
but I don't wanna. So
20.
No, I'm gonna
20.
do the same thing. I don't wanna.
Okay. You still have to.
I'll
Okay.
use an inspiration.
15.
21.
Okay, 21, 20, 15 from Myra, I heard.
I'm gonna roll again. Go on.
Just Tani and
Eight.
Barnack.
19 in total and
19.
6 healing points.
Okay. And Tani, how much did you roll?
11.
Okay. I have a message for you. But first, could you roll another D100 for me?
Oh Jesus!
I'm gonna drink that healing potion.
Was this a charm effect, Kevin? Can I roll an advantage?
It was not. But you already, as far as you can tell, you managed to
I
resist.
could only get one higher, so
Yeah.
So I roll the D100?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll take it. 88.
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Solarian Owl, here we go.
I hate it when you think about it. I hate it.
Why?
Just because it means it's super bad then.
Yeah, like he's measuring his actions in order to not fuck us up that badly. Or just deciding if it's worth to fuck this up that much. This place. By the way, Turnock hasn't left his combat stance yet. He's still like, sword in hands, kind of facing where the wolf was. Stuff like that.
It's hard to express. All right. What would you guys like to do? Which path would you like to take, and how do you proceed? Or would you like to stay here for a while?
I think we should move on and go
To
see
the
the
lady.
lady.
To the lady.
To the lady. Yeah.
Turnock, to the lady.
To the lady, yeah, to the lady. Yes.
And
And
you're right,
don't-
Turnock.
I don't think that much, and I just, I literally just start going
Okay.
this one path right here. I just start
Okay,
going
so you
to
head
where the wolf.
further northwards.
If
Yeah.
I think really hard, we have to go to the lady. Do I think that he's going the right direction?
You're not sure?
Okay.
I'll just try one more thing because maybe I didn't see Turnock go immediately because I had planned this. So I'll just close my eyes
Mm-hmm.
and I say, I think to myself, like, I need to go see the lady. I need to go see the lady. And I'll just step whichever direction feels best.
Okay. And then do you open your eyes or do you keep them closed?
I keep them closed for like 6 steps.
Okay.
I don't know why I chose 6, but there we go.
Okay. Turnock, you already started walking, and then probably after a few steps you do look behind you to see what the party's doing.
Yeah.
You see Jean-Jacques walking up the path behind you with his eyes closed. 6 steps, Jean-Jacques, you open your eyes, and you are also on the northward path.
Feels right to go this way.
Yeah, to the lady.
To the lady we go. All right.
Yeah, to the lady we go.
All right?
And I cannot remember the chant, and me, Bruno, the player, cannot remember the chant, but also Turnock wouldn't remember at this point. So I'm just, to the lady.
I think it was like, off to the lady we go today. Oh, foul miss, stay away, or something like that. Can't remember exactly, but
You can come up with a new one if you like.
yeah.
All right, so the group begins to move on, and as you pass to the rest of the woods and continue to make your way again, the sun still journeying from west to east in the sky, I would like you all to make another concentration check.
Concentration or wisdom? Oh, concentration.
Concentration.
Disadvantage, no.
What is concentration again?
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw.
16.
Better.
19.
Okay.
18 in total.
Also, is it windy?
There is a breeze. It's not exactly super windy. Why?
I guess it's important. Do you classify it as windy or is it breezy?
It's breezy.
Yeah,
Keeping
remind
it
me.
casual.
Yeah. Because if it's windy, then I can control the wind. But if it's not, then I cannot. So,
Yeah, no, I would definitely say it's too far inwards and the trees are blocking most of the wind from
yeah.
reaching you directly. You get the impression that above the treetops there is some movement, but it's not consistent. And in fact, the weather patterns here are definitely unsettling. But
I think that unconsciously, Turnock's not leading the way anymore. I have, just I'm moving slower than the rest of them. If that's
okay, that's fair. Sorry, Myra, what was your concentration check?
Oh, 6.
6. Okay.
Also, with Turnock moving to the back of the pack, I'll just gonna look at him curiously and confused. and then shake my head like, no, that makes sense, and then like keep going with the group.
Okay. And Tani, what was your concentration check?
21.
21. Okay. So, Myra, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw as all of you fall into step. Turnock falls back to the back of the line, still wearing another face, and all of you return to that strange trance-like state in which you walk and you talk and you are focused on the lady, but nonetheless a portion of you is almost like sleeping.
I would like to tell everyone. I learned that the mist is vulnerable to psychic damage. Do we have that in our group?
I'm afraid not.
No.
I just say stop talking about the mist, and I keep on with my,
Alright.
slow pace.
Also, my wisdom saving throw was a natural 20 for
Nice.
29.
Okay.
I've redeemed myself.
Alright. So, I will say, as you walk, Myra, just as you set out, there's a brief tug at your mind, like someone knocking quietly at the front door of a house that you're inside of. But you decide not to open the door. You're not interested right now.
I don't like doors anymore.
And you guys march, and the sun makes its journey several times across the sky, and you walk without exhaustion or really the need to sleep through what seems to be several starlit nights, never seeing a moon, never seeing familiar stars, and then the sun comes again. And on about maybe the 3rd or the 6th or the 20th time that the sun rises in the west, you find yourself standing at the bottom of a small, or rather a narrow path leading up a ledge and up towards a kind of cliff, and beyond it you hear the ocean, waves crashing against the rock. And at the top of that hill you see the vague outline of a house, kind of not in great repair. You see a wooden beam kind of sticking out, not, having fallen down. You can't make out much more detail than that, but you again have that feeling of waking up where previously you might have been sleeping. You've all had a short rest at this point, so if you want to roll hit dice or regain anything on a short rest, please make sure to take care of that. And as you stand at the bottom of this hill, which it might be 50 feet up? No. 100? No. That's several hours. You have no idea. It is some ways up. But you do see, on the highest ledge, stands a silvery figure, a bit like a ghost, but more solid as well. Not at all like the mist. You see flowing hair blowing in a wind that you do not feel. And it is the shape of a woman, looking down. And even though she seems far away, you can still make out her features clearly. And she seems elven. Regal in bearing, as elves were always thought to be anyway. And she looks not down at you, but rather over the forest, which, presumably from that ledge, she has quite a view of. You don't see any mist around you. How would you like to proceed?
I was sort of at the front, I guess, because I started on the path the first.
Sure.
And I just turn towards the rest and I say, well, it seems like we found the lady. Shall we go and introduce ourselves?
Jean-Jacques, I think it would be best if you did the talking this time.
Alright. Are you feeling alright, Turnock?
No.
There kind of gives a nod, stupid question. Alright. Well, let's go.
All right.
And I'll start up towards the lady.
Okay.
As he's going, just remember we found the lady. Now we need to find the tower, and that's the new goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and don't remember, don't trust the lady. Don't trust anything anyone says. That was also a part of it.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Jean-Jacques, you deal with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Arnak, oh glorious leader. Really
Yeah.
appreciate your delegation here. Awesome job there.
All right. So Jean-Jacques begins to climb up the path. Do the others still follow, even if they are letting him deal?
Yeah, I'm going behind him, but
Okay.
we'll remain as a group.
All right.
I want to be the last one up.
Okay.
As I'm approaching, I will briefly in my mind speak, and I say, "Mon ami, if you could keep an eye out for me while I'm conversing with this lady, I would appreciate any insight that you might be able to share."
You have the feeling where normally speaking to your ring is like speaking to someone that's standing next to you, that now you are talking to someone at the other end of a very large hall. And the answer that comes back to you is difficult to understand. And the only thing that you can pick out is what seems to be the word name and Edeah.
Oh dear. Okay.
You can make an insight check, though, to the sounds that come to you.
Yeah. Disadvantage. That's a 19. Oh man. 12. 11.
It's weird. It's mainly weird.
Okay.
All right. As you begin the climb, she is no longer at the edge and has disappeared for the moment. But when you arrive an undetermined amount of time later, you come to a small platform at this sort of cliff, this rocky hill that's jutted out over the sea, and you hear the sea more clearly crashing against the waves below. And indeed, from this platform, where you see on the right side, you have the house, but beyond it, you can just look over the ocean for miles and miles and miles. And it's a beautiful sight. The sun shining down, the blue ocean, and you see standing at the edge, overlooking the ocean, is again that same female figure of an elf, clad in what seems to be flowing robes, very beautiful, but her entire being just overlaid with this sheen of silver light, as if she's not quite here in her entirety. What do you do?
I approach to a respectful distance.
Okay.
And I bow very deeply. And in Sylvan I say, "Greetings and salutations." And I look up at her, and I say, "Lady Edeah." See what happens.
All win with a bad hand. Nice.
Hey,
You
it's
get-
all on luck.
You get a brief response, but not in terms of words. But she looks over her shoulder, and you get almost the impression of a ruler looking at one of her subjects and just acknowledging that you're there and what you've said. But she folds her arms and continues to face the ocean, not acknowledging you in any other way. She seems sad, however, and you hear a very faint sort of sniffling.
I think at this point we are all behind Jean-Jacques, and Jean-Jacques the one.
Yeah.
I turn to Barnick and I say, the ring? I don't know.
I flash him the ring on my finger.
You wearing the ring?
Yes.
Been identified. Love it.
Just-
And we get the benefits in this case of a short rest. I will stand up from my bow
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of approach her, but not like directly up to her, more like moving slightly to the side so that I can, stand perpendicularly to her, but like a step back.
Okay.
So, I'm positioning myself as in clear deference to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, my lady, we come here seeking your help, but I cannot help but notice that perhaps we might be of aid to you. If I, as your humble servant, might inquire as to what would be the polite way of saying this, as to the predicament that you find yourself faced with, I would be most grateful if you were to share it with me. And I'll speak in common this time so that the rest of the group can hear, understand what I'm saying.
Karen, does
Yes.
the lady look familiar?
Sorry, does the ring look familiar?
No, the lady.
The lady. Well, you haven't seen her face now, just when
Yeah.
you were looking up, but there was nothing particularly familiar about her.
Okay.
From the position that you've taken up, Jean-Jacques, as you begin to speak to her in common, you see the slight downturn of the corner of her mouth. And she looks again over her shoulder, and she answers in common. Tell me why you've come here. What do you need from me, stranger?
Right, dude, I'm just checking. You think this feature can be used once, afterwards? Oh, man. It's only once. Okay. I kind of, noting the look of displeasure, I'll file it away, but I won't address it.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I come here with my compatriots to seek your aid in finding the tower that stands on these shores in pursuit of a quarry of ours. We were told that you might be able to aid us in finding the tower.
She turns around, and you see that despite her seeming to be more of a ghostly apparition than anything, she is holding a very real physical book, a notebook it seems, but slightly larger, like a journal, to her, like cradling it to herself. And the face is streaked with a few tears, and she looks at you, then looks over the group, and then looks in the distance where that tower rises above the forest, ever present. And in that moment, as each of you look at her, you watch at a strange phenomenon, because though you see the face that is streaked with tears, it briefly flashes to one filled with laughter and joy, then to one with anger. Then it's like a really quick switching of different images overlaid on top of the real version, and it distorts and it returns to the tear-stained version as she addresses you again. It is a fool's errand. There awaits only death. You should turn back. Go from these shores. Go far away. Go far away if you know what's good for you. And she raises her voice slightly with that last bit to address the whole group. Just turn back. Be away from here. Save yourselves. Let the calamity come. Live it out far away. It is unstoppable.
I raise my voice. We cannot leave the fool who initiated this quest in the first place here, either dead or alive. Have you met him, Patrick?
You see that she kind of clutches the journal more tightly. She looks at you, Tarnok. And she says, I've met him. but he has already passed beyond my grasp. I fear that there's probably nothing left. He has entered the tower, and none who do will ever return. You should turn back. Go, and I will do what I can to grant you safe passage back to where you came from.
Jean-Jacques asked about the mist.
I kind of nod, but looking at her, sort of her bearing, I'll try and say, we appreciate your advice and offer of help, my lady. Unfortunately, we are bound by duty to a grieving wife to return with news on the fate of her husband, whom she has lost, and we simply cannot afford to go back empty-handed. We must know his fate and be able to confirm it. We do not take on this quest lightly, but we simply cannot leave her with the knowledge that Patrick might be alive or dead.
As you tell her these words, you see again that shimmering, that abrupt and unnatural shifting of her features, and where it goes from quietly tear-stained, you see a brief moment of horrible anguish, her face just twisted into a scream that doesn't come. And then it goes back to the way that it was. And she just mutters quietly, I know that pain. But if he's entered the tower, I don't know who could succeed. I fear that if I let you go after him, I will only be sending to you to join him in death. There's something captured there that you cannot defeat. I don't know of anyone who could have.
Understand. My friend over there, and I point to Barnack, has sensed a powerful presence on the tower, on the island. Something out of this world.
Sensed a lot of undead. Aberration. And something weird.
When you say undead, for a brief moment her whole visage changes again. Not just the face, but the whole body. And you can see standing there is the rotten body of a dead elven woman. Her cheeks missing or rotten away, part of the jaw showing, the bones in her arms displayed, clutching that journal, and then she returns to that silvery glance.
I see that, I'm like, we don't have anything against undead in general.
Barnack,
Yes.
let's not aggravate our good lady. You spoke of a calamity that's coming. Is this because of the tower? Or whatever resides within?
She looks over at it again. I'm afraid so. My husband, many years ago now, she kind of looks at the sky for a moment. I think it was many years ago, when everything was going wrong, trapped something there that was trying to come in. But he wasn't able to force it out again before we were all... And she just falls silent. And you see that for a moment as she falls silent, she still mouths more words. And she gives an explanation, presumably, of what happened to the elven people. But you literally cannot hear anything that she says. It is only a matter of time before it breaks free.
I'll see. My lady, our world was broken not too long ago by a calamity of unimaginable scale. We are
Yes.
not ready for another coming of such an event, which makes it even more important that we make our way towards that tower and at least attempt to stop whatever is trying to break free.
She goes to step closer, but rather than taking the 5 or 6 steps towards you, she takes one and immediately stands in front of you. And all of you think, how could this happen? You didn't see her move. She also didn't disappear and reappear. She just suddenly was there. And she stands so close to you. And again, the visage shifts for a moment to one of pure horror as she sees something that's not here, but that has just absolutely horrified her. And then it shifts back. And she says, "It is not calamity come again. It is left over. Not all the breaches were sealed. Some were only contained. And something remained here." How determined are you? Tell me your name. And convince me.
I look briefly towards the rest of the group, just kind of scanning their faces to see if they, are affected by this in a negative way, and I turn back towards her.
Barnack was alive during God's Fall, right? Yeah.
Oh, you were pretty much born into
baby.
it, I think. Yeah, as a
Like,
baby.
Then maybe 5-10 years.
Well, how old is Barnack?
50 something,
Well, the something is kind of important to
Yeah,
determine.
52 was calamity, right?
I think.
It's
And
50. It's year 51 of the new era. So if you're like 53, you would have been indeed like a toddler or a baby.
Yeah, let me check. Barnack is. Yeah, I'll check later when
Sure.
I find it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're very familiar with the aftermath, which you grew up in, but none of you have actively lived through it, as such.
54.
Yeah, so you were 3 years old when it finished.
I want to check something. I say to her, stand up a little bit taller, and Jean-Jacques' countenance changes from his sort of demure, kind of subservient bearing to one of, like, not equal regalness, but definitely somebody who's more, aware of their stature. And he says, "My name is Jean-Jacques Chopin, one of the fingers of the mighty hand of the Chopin family, and I am very determined."
Roll persuasion.
Oh boy. This is at a disadvantage. Let me see if I have anything. I don't think I have no sorcery points to make this better, so...
Can we
nothing there.
all try to help, as in introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
I'll allow you to make a group check if you each want to introduce yourselves, and then we can add it all together and set a DC for that.
Everyone, I got a +8, so even with disadvantage, I'm good, but,
It's up to you
maybe.
guys.
you never know.
Yeah.
You kind of have this, like, a few seconds after Jean-Jacques finishes speaking and she sizes him up, where you could potentially step forward and draw her attention and, add in your own persuasion.
I'll keep quiet then. Yeah.
Okay. Any of the others want to try?
Why would I add in my negative persuasion?
Okay. What did you roll, Jean-Jacques?
12.
Okay.
And a 19, but 12.
Her voice drops, and the rest of you have a hard time hearing her clearly. So you kind of, end up craning your neck a little bit and trying to hear her better. But the sound of the ocean and the rustling of the trees definitely makes it difficult. And she almost whispers to you, Jean-Jacques, I can see the blood in you, but you are young. You are so young. There are none of us left, are there?
Only one that I know of.
She looks at you. Make an insight check. You can roll this without disadvantage.
16.
Okay. For the briefest of moments, her eyes fall down to your ring. And then to something at your side. And then back to you. It's very quick, just like... Who?
I will switch to Sylvan.
Okay.
And I will tell her. I will tell her the name
Okay.
of the elf lady, which is.
It's actually the name that you did provide me and that Tani also provided me once. Karen Wynn.
I'm looking. Karen. Yeah, Karen Wynn. And then also say, noting her look towards my ring, I'll just in Sylvan say, and I am willing to give myself up if need be for those more ancient and wise to save this world.
She answers something in Sylvan, which I will only write to you, because you are the only one who understands.
I hate it.
Then she looks over at the others, and she steps forward towards them, looking at each of you, almost like a queen inspecting her guard. And who are you?
I step forward. I'm Krokenuldag Vulksan. Warrior for the Order of the Locked Heart. And I'm as willing as my friend, my good friend and teacher over there, to achieve the same goals as him, and willing to sacrifice as much, if not more, for the same goal.
Okay. I would like you to also roll a persuasion check. And as you're telling her this, you notice, Turnok, that she briefly turns her head to the left side, where there's nothing. There's just the house. But before you can look, you have the sense that there's someone standing just on the edge of your peripheral vision that you cannot see. Someone familiar. Someone that you hoped might show one day.
Yeah.
But as you look, there's nothing there.
I'm sorry. I was going to interpret as that, even if you hadn't described it that way. So I just, I briefly look and I just whisper to myself, right? And, now I look a bit more confused than I was just based on what's afflicting me right now, the effects of the mist. But I lose a little bit of focus on her as that happens.
Okay. You see for a moment, as you finish speaking, and this moment occurs of confusion, her face goes from tear-stained and sad to completely set in stone. A mask that she's worn in the past at some point, where she looks even more like... To all of you, it can only be described as a queen. But you've never, you've never interacted with elven kind proper before, so you don't know if this is just the way that they are, but she definitely has that bearing and that look that just stares at eternity. She looks down upon you for that moment, and then it fades back to the way that it is, marred, tear-stained, and saddened. And she just lets go of the book with one hand and just briefly puts the hand on your shoulder, and you feel an actual weight. She just gives you a slight squeeze and then looks over at the others. Please, If I am to potentially send you to your deaths, I would like to know who you are before I do.
She's looking at
Yeah,
us.
at the rest of you standing next to Turnock, yeah.
I was okay. Sorry. Okay,
Oh, I
hearing
didn't indicate that, but I bowed after I said that,
Okay.
and I'm not making eye contact.
Okay.
hearing both Jean-Jacques and Turnock say a lot of big words and a lot of important words, Barnack will need a moment to think about it.
Okay. So, she looks expectantly down the line. First at Barnack, then at Tani, then at Myra. If you are too timid to speak to me, then you certainly do not stand a chance in the tower.
If like a second or two passes before Tani speaks, because she's looking down the line, Myra will like step forward a little bit,
Okay.
and in Elvish, say, my name's Myra Earwood. I've been with these fools for a short time, but I trust them, and I trust my God to lead me to where we need to go.
Okay. She takes a step, and just like when she moved towards Jean-Jacques, she just arrives immediately in front of you, Myra. And she looks at you, and her face, rather than her expression changing, her face just suddenly shifts to one of intense curiosity. An expression that you might have expected from her reading a very interesting book, or being presented with a mystery. And she just looks you up and down. You are not what I expected.
How so?
I will not say. But I accept. And she looks at Myra again, and then her head just snaps towards Jean-Jacques. Very well. She looks at Tani, at Barnack. I would still learn your names, if you will share them.
I will look at Tani, and if you're not moving, Tani, I'll also kind of make a step forward.
Okay. She
And
moves,
I'll
appears before you.
I already am much shorter than her, but I'll still bow my head. And I'll say, well, again with this. Introductions. We get introduced every single day. My name is Barnack Stoneheart, and I am a dwarf who wants to see this world be better. I am also someone who will not let whatever that thing in the tower is hurt the friends that I have here. Even if it costs me my life.
There is a silence. And it lasts. Do you look up at any point? Because you kind of indicated bowing.
Yeah, well, I bowed, and then while I was speaking, I was looking up.
Okay. So the silence lasts for a moment, and then you watch as the visages begin to shift, but very rapidly. And the first face that you see, filled with joy. Just the joy of someone achieving their goal, of a mother, finding a daughter, of just the purest joy and happiness that you could imagine, immediately replaced by screaming anger. No sound, just jaw clenched, eyes wide, pure fury. And then that replaced with screaming agony. The worst pain you can imagine painted on someone's face. And then it shifts back to the tear-stained face that was speaking with you.
I hate it. Barnack hates it at that moment. He doesn't move, but he hates it.
Okay.
Hates internally.
Yeah.
She still allows the silence to last a moment longer, and then, like with Turnock, she extends a hand and just places it on his shoulder. But she doesn't squeeze. She just makes eye contact for a moment, and then nods. And then she looks over to Tani, and in fact,
she doesn't look anywhere while looking at me.
No, she doesn't look anywhere. But then she looks over to Tani, and she takes a step, and immediately, woof, she stands in front of you.
Stand up a bit straighter. My most recent name, the name I use these days, is Tani Kalatar, from a monastery of old in the lands that now belong to the Empire of Truth. I'm a survivor of its attack, and survivor of an evil cult that I no longer belong to and I no longer remember. I am prepared to do whatever is needed to push back evil and to seek truth. And I'm prepared with my friends to do this.
Jesus, you're intimidating right now. Wow.
I was thinking about it, that's why I wanted to be last.
Her face again shifts to that expression that is pure concentration and curiosity. And you see her step back, her face shifting back to her more natural state, where she actually has expressions and emotions that change. And you see her looking over your head for a moment. And she inspects you, but she inspects almost as if she's looking at a larger version of you, taking you in completely. She looks over the group again. And for the briefest of moments, all of you see a face filled with pride. But as her eyes glide over Tani, it shifts to that pure, horrified face for like 0.1 second, and then it goes back. Very well. I accept. I will bless you so that you may move forward and find your way to the tower without the influence of my husband, who still protects this island to this day. But I cannot help you once you are inside. And I can also not tell you what you will find inside, for I have not been there since the day that my husband died. Are you in need of rest?
Yes.
Desperately.
Immediately.
She nods. She looks over to the house. You may rest here for as long as you need. I have only one requirement. Do not enter the cellar. No matter what you do, do not go there.
I glare at Barnack immediately as she says it.
Yeah.
I just death stare.
Yeah, Barnack would do the same as Milos did, so had a small smirk, but also it wasn't like thinking I was going to go to the cellar. It was more like I'm going to talk to everyone, so everyone goes into the cellar.
That's up to you guys. One more thing that she does is she walks over to Jean-Jacques and she looks at the note, at the journal in her hands, and for a brief moment she opens it again and she flips, and you see many pages covered in a very fine, delicate script in what seems to be common. And she flips to a page near the end. It seems that this journal was almost full. And she reads what seems to be a passage outlined on one page, written even more finely than the rest. And she cries again, and then she closes it, and she hands over the journal to you. And you read on the front that this seems to be a journal belonging to Patrick Sordenbrand. This is what he provided to me to create the bond that is needed for my blessing. I will need from you in the morning, well, when you are rested and ready to depart. I will need from you something similar, something that you care about, be that object to which you are bound, or secret which binds you. Consider. You will be safe in that house so long as you stay away from the basement. We will talk again soon. She steps away and disappears into mist. And then the door opens, and you see inside is a finely preserved house. It's not large, it's not extremely wealthy, but it has a bed in one corner, it has a kitchen nook, a kitchen table, and indeed in another corner, a hatch that leads down. What would you guys like to do?
Rest. So badly.
I'll
Want to
conduct
rest.
myself like, when moms and dads go behind their children, basically just guiding them to what they want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. I hold Barnack by the two shoulders, and I lean over to whisper, "Don't even think about it. Otherwise, I'm gonna crack that small skull of yours, and you never see the light outside of this island again. I promise you that."
I'll take a piece of paper and hand him a piece of paper just behind my back, and just go into the room, onto the bed.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna even read the piece of paper because I know what's there. So I'm just gonna move behind him. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my god.
Fuck you, Scarlet Rose.
As we're settling down, I say, I believe that the lady will keep us safe for the night, but personally would be more comfortable if we still kept watch. So, y'all can bed down for the time being. I'll stay up and then wake one of you. I'd like to peruse this journal. I told them what it is as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the first one to take watch. I'll be the first one. You guys rest.
No,
Well, I was saying I take it first and then I'll wake you up. But I mean, we could do it the other way around. It's fine. But
no, it's just I'd like to go first, and once we are out, I can explain to you why.
no,
Not right now. And
Perfectly fine.
Kevin,
Yes.
I'll attempt to prepare the ritual again.
Okay.
As I'm, just prepare it when it's my turn to go to sleep. That's
Okay. Prepare so that you can perform it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, looking at the time, we've actually got a little time left, but I think it would be interesting to find out what happens during the night next time.
Okay.
And we'll have a proper preparation of the ritual, because I think we need to figure out some details, Bruno. So we'll make sure that you have the details exactly as you want them. And I will be able to provide all the questions that you have about the journal. That's already ready. But let's see next time what happens at night and whether Barnack can stay out of the basement.
No, question: are we immediately going now to sleep, and next time starting with us sleeping, or are we picking up from here?
If you want to do some role play before you go to bed proper, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine by me.
I mean, I would just ask Jean-Jacques to perform a thing for me. So
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, we can do it the next time. Yeah, sure.
All right. Well
Yeah,
then.
I did want to do one thing, but I'm just gonna send you a message on Discord.
Yeah, just make sure to message me with all the things that you want to do before bedtime. And if there's anything that needs to be resolved between characters, we can figure that out. And then next time we'll indeed pick up with... so who's on the first watch now? Is it Turnock or... Turnock, okay. So Turnock will take the first watch.
Yeah. You mentioned we can do some role play now, right?
Yeah? Yeah, you can... Yes, you can feel free to do some roleplay now if you wish.
Okay.
You know, this is, the ritual itself. It's pretty... Of course, I need to focus on it and prepare it, but I can, kind of, sort of multitask while I do so. And I think I'm doing that, well, in the place that I'm going to sleep, right?
Yeah.
So I just, I call Jean-Jacques, and privately, if possible, if we're able to get some privacy. And I just call him, and I say, I have this weird impression, Jean-Jacques. This weird impression that down there, when you turn back time, it was not the clockmaker, neither Beckwar, who did that, who altered the results of your coin toss. I really believe there was a third one.
Kind of
And
frown, but it's a questioning frown.
I have no idea how to describe that, but I have the feeling that Beckwar tried to tell me that from his distance in prison. And I'm not making a conclusive statement to you right now in saying that you should utilize that knowledge, as truth. But I'm just saying, have that in mind, because it would be best for me to have someone else potentially investigating and having that in mind, that it's not only myself. There might have been a third power in effect there.
Kind of, I listen to him and I say, just nod and I say, appreciate you telling me that. I will give it some thought. I cannot form an opinion just now, but I will think on it as well. Try to figure out.
And I'm sorry for throwing this at you at this moment, but this is the first time that my mind had a bit of time to relax or to go back to where it was. And I found myself really uncomfortable that my mind is always at that moment. And I thought you should know.
Yeah. A smile briefly crosses Jean-Jacques' mouth and he says, I understand. Thank you for talking to me about this. We'll figure it out together.
Yeah, don't thank me, because I think it's more of a burden that I carry more than anything else. So I'm sorry for sharing that burden with you.
Yeah, I kind of slap him on the shoulder, not slap, but, just tap him on the shoulder in a friendly manner and I say, well, my friend, certainly built up my endurance. It is a pebble on the mountain.
Yeah, I guess so. And I just continue to, organize things. And... Yeah.
All right.
I'll also call Jean-Jacques after that. If I may.
Jean-Jacques like, oh, fuck!
Let me sleep, for God's sakes.
Everyone wants to hang out with Jean-Jacques before bed.
Exhausted, they're like bags like this. Yes, Bernard?
Jean-Jacques,
Yep.
I need your help.
All right.
I need you to do the thing with the ring to tell me what it is.
Oh, yeah, of course. And I'll cast Identify as a ritual if I can.
Yes. You can also cast
Okay.
it directly, I think.
I think it says on the ring that it's just a ritual.
Ah.
Can double
Okay,
check,
then-
but I'm like
I
90%
mean,
sure.
regardless, you do manage to cast Identify.
You said it's a golden ring with 3 diamonds, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
Jean-Jacques, you identify this ring as a ring of 3 wishes.
Oh, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. Yeah.
Oh my fucking god!
Fucking bullshit.
For probably the first time since Barnack knows Jean-Jacques, there's just an utterly shocked expression on his face. Because to him, this is just magic that he's read about, right? He's never, like, met
Yeah.
anybody that can do this sort of stuff. So it's, like, mouth agape, completely shocked expression, and he immediately just grabs Barnack's wrists, right? Just very, very hard for Jean-Jacques. And just looks him straight in the face. Barnack, listen to me, all right? It's very important that you listen very carefully to me, okay?
Yeah.
What you now carry, it baffles the mind, okay? I will tell you what it is and what it does, but you must promise on the name of your grandfather that you will not use it unless in the most dire of circumstances, irresponsibly or hastily or without at least trying your darndest to think it through and to hopefully ask me for advice, but just please promise me that you will not be careless about this.
I've never seen you this upset, so... And I look you in the eye. I promise.
You promise on...
I promise on my grandfather's name that I will be
Alright.
careful and that I will not use whatever this is without an actual need. Life or death.
I trust you with my life, so I will trust you on this. What you now carry is the Ring of 3 Wishes.
Okay.
And
Are we all listening to this conversation? No, right?
Well,
No,
I think
I-
you can definitely have seen Jean-Jacques grabbing Barnack very tensely, but the actual content of the conversation is probably private.
yeah, I would have attempted to make it as private as possible so that, for at least for the... Because I think it should be up to Barnack to decide.
Yeah, no, there's just a brief
Yeah,
tense moment as he grabs Barnack, and that's it.
Using the momentum of shock that's now transferred, I'll just say, and I honestly believe, to the depths of my soul, that there is no better person that could have this ring. In a very strange way, you're also the worst person that could have it, but also the best. Just be careful. This is magic on a scale that we have no comprehension of right now. And it is very... Second. It is very, very dangerous. I don't know much about it. And I will do research as soon as I can when we get back to Pastizia, but for now, just be very careful. It can go terribly wrong.
Okay, I don't know much about wishes, but I do know... I've heard stories about how those went bad, so... I understand. Also, did you say 3?
I said 3. Do I know how many charges it has left, Kevin?
All 3 diamonds are shiny and beautiful.
It is 3.
Then I guess I should get a glove so people don't see it.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Nobody can ever see this.
Wait, I actually have a glove in my backpack. Yeah, and I'll go and get the glove.
And then Jean-Jacques turns away and sweats profusely.
All right.
You know, I was just, I was, you know, glancing with at that interaction, but you know, Jean-Jacques being careful with what Barnack does, says, or behaves is just, it's kind of normal. So
Yeah.
I don't pay that much attention to
Yeah.
that, you know.
No, that's very fair. All right. Anything else you guys want to role play out before the party sits down to rest?
Yes, actually, I would like to tell them. I would like to tell them about the bonding spirit and how that happens. Yeah, I'll do so. So I believe that I just go to where they're going to rest as I finish preparing the ritual, or at least I leave it there for the moment, and I just say, well, I think I need to share with you something. We from the Order of the Locked Heart, we have a companion, to say. And, well, you know that, or at least you could tell at this point, that my biggest ally and my most trustworthy companion is my sword. But bound, I don't know, is a spirit. A node spirit, or was a node spirit from the Order of the Locked Heart, one of the first members, one of the first keys. And when that happened, back then, when those strange activities took place and we were attacked, and I, got back to life, so to say, that spirit's no longer with me. And it was right then and there when I got my magical powers. And there is something, you know, you can call it a prophecy, that will basically describes what I need to do to regather and the trust and friendship, that's how I look at it, of this trustworthy warrior who's Relighorn. And I'll share I'll just say the prophecy to them. Atonement can only be found inside of the powers that be, a place most high, where they may see you free from chains and judge you. Then you will find also they whom you seek, and perhaps be forgiven. What I wanted to share with you is that I really need to find him. I've never, ever since I joined the Order and ever since I've gained his trust, I've never been without him. And from that moment onwards, I haven't been with him. And I just wanted you to know, and I'll share the text with you guys later, but I just wanted you to know that if you have, because I can't even begin to describe how confused I am by that text and what it means, how will that present itself. But I needed you to be aware, because you aren't with me at all times. And being with me at all times, you may see it in places that I don't. So what I'm doing right now, and you have seen me doing it, is I'm preparing the ritual to try to communicate with him. And the last time I did it, it was empty. I found nobody there in our usual meeting spot, say like that. And I don't know. I know that I need to prepare the ritual in the place that it was suited, but I don't know exactly where that is and under what circumstances. But I'm going to attempt it more often than not currently, because I don't know the answer to that prophecy. I don't know what it is. So when I told you, Jean-Jacques, before, that I was more alone that I could describe, and alone in a way that I haven't felt in a long time, that's what I mean.
Mm.
I don't have my friend with me, my advisor, the person who's behind the actions that I take, and who helps me get to the actions that I take throughout the most part of my life, or how, ever since I joined the order. So just wanted you guys to know, because this is being difficult to me, and I have been trying my best to remain composed, but it's been tough.
And Turnok, you said that we might see it when you can't.
You might see the prophecy. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The pattern.
The interpretation
Yeah.
of this prophecy is really, really vague. And I wanted to share with you because I, by myself, may just miss the opportunity when it presents to me, just because I won't be able to interpret it. And I wanted you to know because you're always with me. So
Yeah.
you might see when I don't.
Yeah. And did you? I might have missed it. Did you share the name?
Yes. You mean the name of the spirit companion?
Yes.
Relihor.
Relihor. Okay.
Yeah, he was. How? Think about the greatest warrior that you can envision. That was not him in physical posture or in might, but that's how his mind is, and that's the greatest person I've ever met in my entire life. That's one of the most dear, wholehearted, loyal people that I've ever met, and for him to have left me, I don't know what I'll be able to do to regain his trust. That's all I can say.
We'll do wherever we can to help. Thank you for sharing this with us.
You might have, the locked hearts, traditions, costumes, and in the way that we behave, it's not, fairly well known. But you may have heard something about this before, our rituals, our spirit companions, stuff like that. And if you haven't, they only communicate with us if we present them with the opportunity, and we in life do the ritual to actually invoke them in our sleep. So this ritual that I'm performing here is one of me trying to communicate with them once again. As well, I might be going crazy here, and this may just be the most plausible option, just me going crazy in this weird place. But yeah, I think I thought I'd seen him. I saw him. I thought I saw him. Yeah, I'm sorry. And I'll just turn my back around and go back to.
Okay. So
As he does that, can you say just what the name was again? Rylehor?
Maybe write it. Maybe write it to us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be better.
it's just for the stream. It's Rellihor.
I'll post in our chat the name and the prophecy I just read to you.
All right. Well,
Rylehor.
with Turnok turning away and going about setting up the ritual, pulling reagents from his bag, the rest of you settle down to sleep, either on the bed or in your bedrolls on the ground. And with that, we will end our episode here, and we'll pick it up next week and find out if you guys can keep Barnack out of the cellar for the night.
Barnack, by the way, just immediately goes and lays on top of the cellar. That is where he'll take his rest.
We'll discuss next week
Yeah.
if the group has any input on that. Because I feel like Turnock and Jean-Jacques would both be like, no, you can't sleep there. But we'll find out if that's the case next week. I will not speak for your characters.
Thinking about having Myra do it.
In any case, thank you guys so much for playing. The rest of you, thank you for watching. We appreciate you so much. Remember to follow, subscribe, go on our YouTube and subscribe. We are here every week, and we're also releasing old episodes, so you can catch up if you like. And in the meantime, come join us on Tuesday on the Ruined Keep. So just click on the Ruined Keep in the chat and follow them as well, because they're also awesome and some of our best friends. And we will return next week on Sunday at 6 p.m. CEST. That is noon EST, with the next episode of Tales of Edeah. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, fellas.